see add new case below.
Yeah.
Click on that. So there we have to declare the value, and you also have two more values. If my variable value is null or empty, click on the drop down. So you can choose whether it is null, that means blank, empty, nothing is there. So you can choose that condition and also define it. So if my statement is null, what should be executing at that point? Or if I'm defining a value, can you type London there? Okay, now click outside. So which gives you a block, so where you can perform your activity there. Okay, drag and drop a right line inside the drop activity. Drag and drop a right line in the drop activity here. So now enter VB expression, reached London in between the double quotes. It's a string value that you type. Okay, so this is one scenario. Okay, so click on add new case once again and give a different location value there. Yeah, give a different value there. Okay, so you can place an activity. So instead of right line, you can give a block of code. So it's not need not to be entire thing, a part of it. Okay, so drag and drop a right line and give a comment over there. Just give a comment. Okay, so now if my value is, that means the location value is London, the right line will be reach. That part of the block of code will be executed. If it is America, the which I have defined now, that block of code will be executed. Okay, but if I'm getting any other value apart from this two, then it is an invalid one. To define if it is an invalid, what should be happening? You can define it in the default. Can you see default there? The beginning, the first. So there you have to define, drag and drop a right line and mention there in between the double quotes, invalid option. Suppose there was in a real-time scenario where it might be used. Suppose check the location only or category or anything where you need to do a logic difference. Suppose based on the category, the date population has to be accordingly. Like if it is the first option, it has to be plus 5 days from the present date. If it is the next one, it should be plus 2 days, 3 days. So those kind of calculations or anything like referring an other table in order to get the value. So you can do those kind of stuffs in between this. Based on the choice value, the activity has to be manipulated according to that. Okay. So now go to variables and define a value to that default value. Either you can drag and drop and assign and then define it, or you can directly define in the default value. Choose one for the location variable.
Pick a default value.
Any value in between the
Okay.
double quotes. You can
Okay.
give a wrong value or you can give the correct value which we already defined, London and America. Any one you can choose, or give us some other value also. So if you give a correct value, then it will be executing the particular block of code. If it is incorrect value, then what you have defined in the default will be executed. Now click on the play button. Okay. Same thing, give a proper value which we already defined. So you need not to be a right line. So don't think it in that way. You can give an entire block of code over there. It need not to be one right line. I'm just showing you a syntax. For that, I've given in that way. You can give a block of code like multiple assign or a set of activities in the sequence what we are doing. The same set of activities, you can define it there also. Okay. Is clear? Okay. There is two more activities which we will be seeing now. Okay. One is break, another one is continue. So which we will be using inside a loop. Suppose let's take the first one, break activity. Okay. So can you do number of times? Type number of times. Just type number. Okay. Place it above the switch. I mean above the switch. Yes. Okay. So now give the repeat number of times as 10 times. Repeat number of time, give 10. Okay. So inside the do activity, drag and drop a if condition there. Drag and drop inside the do activity. Okay. In the enter VB expression, just type current item is equal to 5. Current item equal to 5. Okay. So in the search, in the activity search, type break and drag and drop break inside the then. Okay. So basically break what it does is it will help you to come out of the loop. Suppose I'm searching for a value inside the loop. Okay, I have 100 records. From the 100 records, I'm making a loop so that I can extract the correct value. So when I'm running through the loop, I found the value in the 50th position. Okay, whereas I doesn't need to run for the other 50 records to wait for the time, because even that also takes the time, right? So once I found the position, there is no need to proceed further more records. So I have to come out of the loop. For that, we use this break. Okay, if you run, so usually when you say 10 times, it'll run for 10 times, right? Drag and drop a right line above the if condition and then type current item dot toString. Current item dot toString. Okay, so now run the code. So you can see that it'll print 5. So once after the 5, it won't be printing any values. Because it have exited the loop, so it won't be printing it furthermore. Go to the output. So you can see that it would have printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, there will be no print. But as per the program, it has to print till 10. Since we use break activity, it helps you to come out of the loop. All the loop activities like for each row, while, do while, any loop. Okay. So next one, what we have is continue. Okay. So continue, how it works is, suppose inside the loop, I have 5 steps. Okay. Or 5 condition checks I have. When I have the first step only it failed and I don't have need to go proceeding furthermore. So what I will do is I'll use continue there. When the condition fails, I'll give continue so that instead of going further more steps, it goes for the next iteration. From 1, it directly jumps to 2 without completing the furthermore activities. Okay. So for that purpose, we use the continue. Okay. For the same example, we can take, do one thing. If condition is there, right? Same if condition. If it is equal to 5, we have given, right? So click on show else. So drag and drop continue in the drop activity. Drag and drop continue in the drop activity. Okay. So now drag and drop the right line below the if condition. No, the if condition which is already there, right line in your program is there, right? Right line. Yes. Which is already there. Now drag and drop below the if condition. The right line which is there, which is already there, which I didn't ask you to bring a new one, which is already there, right? Right line. Drag and drop to here. Okay. So now what happens? The break activities is there, right? Remove the break. So except 5, no other values will be printed because all the condition will fail. When it click on continue, it goes for the next record. Only 5 alone will be printed. Run and check it out. Okay. Why? Because except 5, every value was printed because the condition satisfies in that way. So continue will take you to the next iteration. Okay, so instead of coming to the right line, it'll be directly jumping to the next record. So that's the reason we didn't print for the other numbers except 5, because for the condition which we have set 5, it allows us to come for the right line. Whereas the previous condition continue will take you to the next record. So that's the reason it didn't go there. Is it clear? So what is the purpose of break and continue?
Yes.
Any doubts? So understand, break will help you to come out of the loop. Continue will take you to the next iteration. Thomas, is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. So now, so let's work with the application part. So right now, whatever the basics we completed, the variables and the loops and condition. Now we're going to work with CSV files first. Okay. So create a new sequence and name it as CSV activities.
Project.
You can go for add and folder. Add. Can you see add there? Yes. Folder. Name it as app integration. Okay. Yes. So under that, right click. You can create a XAML file, CSV activities. Click on sequence and name it as CSV activities. Great. So CSV file is nothing but comma separator files. So most of the download files, you would have seen the extension with CSV. Basically, you can open the CSV file either in a text as well as Excel. Okay. So it's a fast processing file. It has a single sheet. It doesn't have any formats. So it's easy for us to process or upload will be happening faster when compared with normal Excel files. Okay. Let's create a CSV file. Can you open a notepad, Vijay? Okay. Type name, comma, ID, comma, age. So comma, the first row which we have defined now will be our headers. Okay. So next, Vijay, comma, you can give a value next, and give a number for the age. And then next line, give a one more name, ID, and age. Follow for 5 times. And once it is done, save the file with extension of CSV. Save the file with the extension of CSV. Okay. Now close this file and go to the saved location and open the file in the Excel, and you can view that in a stable manner. Okay, open the file. So wherever you have given comma, it becomes a separated go for. Okay, so you can see that it's one sheet and it doesn't accept any format. Okay, the same values we're gonna read and work with it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, so we have 3 activities under CSV: read, write, append. So we're gonna work with the CSV file. Okay, now close this file and come back to the UiPath Studio. So go to activities. You are there in the project. Go to activities. Expand app integration. Can you see CSV? Expand that. Can you see read, write, and append? Drag and drop read CSV. So click on the folder and select the file path location. Okay. Okay, so in the output, right click and create variable. So name the variable name as DT result. DT, small dt, capital R, and enter. Okay, so we need to consider the first row as headers or not. We are choosing the checkbox. If we choose that has headers, that means the first row will be considered as headers. If not, it'll be considered as a part of the row. Okay. On the right side, can you see delimiter under options, the properties? So similar like comma, there are certain files will be having other delimiters also. So comma is one of the delimiter. Same way you have other delimiters also. If your file has any delimiter apart from comma, like tab, semicolon, caret, and pipe, you can choose that. Okay, so that it extracts the data in a proper table manner. For that reason, we choose that. Has headers will consider the first row as headers. Otherwise, you'll be considering the first row also as part of the row values. Okay. So in order to print the value, what we're going to do is, there is 2 ways of printing. One through the loop, and second through us converting the data table to a string and then printing it. Okay. So first we'll see the loop. So search for each row. So we have seen for each, that is for the collection. For the data table, it's specific. We need to use for each row. Can you see for each row in data table? Yes, drag and drop. Okay. So in the enter VB expression, declare the variable name DT result. Okay. So now we have the information. So now it's going to run through the loop, and now we need to read the values. Okay. So in the search in the left side, type row item. Get row item is there, right? Drag and drop it.
Body.
Okay. So get row item, suppose your data table is like this. Okay. That means you have this first one will be your headers. That means this entire part, the first row will be your header. So we have two rows, one, one, and two. Okay. So when I say get row item, it'll be accessing one of the record. So that means suppose I say one here, that value alone I can access. When I say get row item, from the entire row, I can access one column, one cell value from that. For that reason only we use get row item. Okay. So now get row item, we have to give the row value. So in the row data table row is there, right? So declare current row there. Because when I say DT result, it'll be accessing one row at a time. Same similar like for each. Okay. So now the column is a number or a name. That means we can use an index or name of that column. Okay. So let's use the index. You have three columns, right? So let's take one of the value in a index value. So the index value starts from same like in the same array value. First column will be 0 followed by the same number. Same goes for the row also. So now we have the row value. So in order to access a particular column, so we have three columns that you created, right, Vijay? So name, ID, and age. So what are the values you need to retrieve it? So suppose I want the name value to be retrieved, then the column index value is 0 for that. Can you give 0? Yeah. The below to it, you create a string variable. So when this activity is being called, so from the present row, first column, first cell value will be stored to the variable that he is creating now. Can you see value in the bottom?
Yes.
Right click and create variable there. So name it as str name. Enter. Drag and drop a right line and print str name and collapse the get row item. So on the right line, type str name. Okay. So now the same method we're going to use, but this time we're going to use the column name. Okay. Drag and drop get row item. Okay. So in the data table row, give current. Okay. So in the choose name option, choose name option first. Okay. So in between the double quotes, type ID and create a, you have given the same variety, you have to give the syntax the same name for that. Okay. If you want, you can re-verify that once again. Okay, it's correct. So now store it in a variable and then give a write line and print the value. You can give str or yeah, str int. Okay, so and drag and drop a write line and print that value. And call str int there. So it'll be printing the name after that ID value. So both the method I have explained. So one with index number, one with a specific name. Okay. So with this one, we will be able to populate the value of the records. Okay. Now run the program. So this is one way of printing the record information. The other one is there, which will convert the entire data table to a string, similar to our CSV file, how we have created, and then populate those records in a string value, and then we can display that. Did you got all the records? Okay. So this is one of the method for accessing the records in the particular data table row. Okay. Collapse it. Let me take you through another alternative way. So this is one method. Okay. So the other method is okay. So the other method is collapse for each row. Collapse for each row. You are inside the for each row. Okay. So now drag and drop output data table. So which will convert the entire data table to a string. The spelling is incorrect. Can you see output data table? Drag and drop it. This will help you to convert the entire data table to a string variable. Okay. In the right side, can you see the input? There you have to give your data table name there. In the input, can you see? So declare the variable, the data table variable, dt result. Use control space. Yeah. Double click on the record, also will create it. Now create a string variable. So I think you already have a variable, right? In the string data type. So in the text, declare that variable. If you don't have it, then create a variable there. Okay, now drag and drop a right line below the output data table and then declare the variable value str result. So go back to the previous activity here, click on the top, drag and drop, collapse those activities first, so you won't be confused. Collapse it, the switch. Then you have to go for each one. Collapse. Vijay, just listen to me. Click here in the top. Okay, so scroll down. Where were we? You are there in a different page. Can you close the ones which is not required? Whichever we have gone through, just close that. No, I mean to say close all the activities except CSV. Okay, save this and then run the program. Have you given the right line to print the output? Output data table below to it, drag and drop a right line and print the variable name there, str result. Now run the program. got the output. Run it. So you can see, right? It will be placed exactly the way you have saved the Excel variable. Okay, clear about read CSV, how to read the data table values. Vijay,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, clear. So next one, what we're gonna see is write CSV. Okay, so here we have a unique feature in write CSV that if suppose the file is not there, then it will create a file in the path location which you're mentioning and then writes the data. If suppose you are writing the data for the previously existing file, then those records in the file will be completely clear and then it will be writing down the new records which it has. So that's how it will be working out. Okay. So drag and drop write CSV. So you have to give a path location. Okay. So expand that write CSV. So choose a folder location and change the file name. Choose the CSV file. So here in the path location, right, change it to in the end before CSV, change it to 1 to 3. Go to the end or choose the editor. The right side, can you see 3 dots? Click on that. Now change. After example, type 1 to 3. Okay. So now what happens is do give the input as DT result. Because it has to populate the data. So we need to give that. And here also the same, include headers. Okay. And on the right side, you can see the option include headers and the delimiter. So how you have framed the data table. So you have to define it, whether it is framed based on comma files or other delimiters which we have seen. Based on that, it is populated. We have to see that, and based on that, we have to choose the option. So now the write CSV will create the file and then write down the data. Okay. Run this program, Vijay. Just run it and go to the path location and see whether the file name which you mentioned here, it's available or not. Okay, so it's created and the data has been written down. Okay. So here, whatever the previous data is there, it'll clear all the previous data and then it will be writing only the fresh data when you use write CSV. And second advantage is if file is not there, it will be creating it. Okay. So the other one what we have is append to CSV. Okay. So append to CSV is nothing but if I have records without disturbing the existing records, I will be creating a new record and then filling up from there. Suppose I'm having Excel of 7 records. Then if I use append, it will be filling up in the 8th record like that. Okay.
Add a next line.
So drag and drop. Sorry.
Will it add a next line?
Yes, drag and drop append CSV below the write CSV. So you have to give the same file path location, or you can choose the second time the file generated, right? 1, 2, 3, select that. And declare the same data table DT result there. And this time what happens when you use append, right? It finds the first column and the last empty row, the value records will be filled up. Okay. So it doesn't need to choose headers for this. Whatever, even if you give headers, it won't be filling it up. Okay, it'll find the last record till the last record. It'll be populated. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, just make a run, Vijay, so we can see the record information. Okay, so open the same file and check. Can you see? So it finded the first column, last empty row, cell value, and then it filled up the records. Okay. If you're clear, then we can go for the next set of activities.
Yeah, I'm full.
Okay, close this. So let's look at few PDF activities. Okay. So for that, let's download some few samples. Can you go to a browser, Vijay, and type cookbook PDF?
Spelling please.
Cookbook PDF. So you're downloading a book, a PDF file, which has images, and it is a normal conversion like Word to PPT or Word to PDF, like that. Okay. So now here, can you see the fourth link? Keep the beat recipes. Click on that. Fourth link. Yeah. Download this PDF file. Okay. So here you can see the PDF file. So here, the PDF file is, this one is considered as a readable PDF file. Why? Because you can copy the content, paste it. So that's why it's called as readable PDF, which is a conversion of a Word document to a PDF, or a presentation to PDF, or web browser to PDF. Okay. So now go to the browser, type sample scanned invoice. So next one, we need a OCR read. For that, we need some scanned documents. Okay, so OCR PDF space PDF. Okay, so here, do one thing, click on the first one. Let's see that whether it is a valid one or not. Try to highlight the text or double click over the text value if it is appearing. Is it a blank one? Then, okay, now try to select the text. So this is a scanned one, okay, where you can't highlight the text and other things will be. Okay, now save this file also, and then come back to the. Okay, so now come back to UiPath Studio. So create a new sequence under app integration and name it as PDF activities. Okay, so in the left side, go to activities, expand PDF. So first one is export PDF as image. So I have a PDF page. Okay, in the PDF page, I have certain images in the PDF file. Okay, so there we can use export PDF as image. That means the page which I'm looking for will be converted to image, and then it will be available. Okay, so now drag and drop export PDF as image. Okay, so choose the PDF file cookbook. Okay. Okay, second one is what should be the image path location? Can you click on the folder symbol and define the path location and path extension? Okay, so we
What
have the
PDF?
format below. You doesn't need to do that. The extension is not required. The below you can choose one of the extension and then save. So with all this extension, it will be working. Okay, based on your requirement, you can choose. Click on save. So now when you on the right side, can you see image DPI?
Yeah.
Can you see image DPI? That is the quality of the image. So we have three qualities, 96, 150, 300. Quality is nothing but when you zoom in, the picture will be still intact, like how you do it in the mobile. Same pattern here. Okay, you can choose 300. And then you have to input a number there because we have given the page number, right?
Yeah.
So you can define a page number there. And that particular page will be converted to image. So you can run and check now. If any PDF with password, you can give it in the password field in the properties. Otherwise, it's not required. Go to the page and you can see the image. Double click on that. Okay. Now close it. So come back to the activities. So next one is extract images from PDF. So whatever the images from your PDF, like designs, usually when you see a brochure or something, you can see the images here and there, those kind of things. Okay. Now, what happened? So now create a, okay, so you have to first choose the folder name. Okay. So now after that, so on the right side, you have to give the output folder path location. Where does it need to be processed? Okay, so output folder name, come back to the folder location where you place the files. Right click, create a new folder, name it as images. Okay, give that path location there in the images. In between the double quotes. Okay, so now the images is already saved in the particular location. Can you see extract PDF page range? In the left side, can you see extract PDF page range? Yes, drag and drop it. Okay, so now what is being done here is, so we are converting the PDF range to a separate PDF file. Suppose I have 1 to 10 pages, whereas 5 and 6, I need it separately. So it is not affecting the original file. It is creating a duplicate with 5 and 6. That's it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is give the file name of the foundation training which I have imported. The other one, you can choose any file. So you can choose cookbook for this. So you have to give the PDF in the exchange for this. Okay, click on save. So now there is some error has been populated. See what is the error. Click outside and then go and see that. So what is the error? Just move the red mark. So it is says that value. Okay, you didn't give the page range. In the right side, can you see range? So in between. So in the range in between the double quotes, you have to give, suppose my range is between 1 to 10. So 1-10 I have to give. -10. So 1 to 10 page will be taken up. So I'm taking 25 to 35. Then I have to give 25-35. So that is a page range. It is. Okay. So now the page range, the page will be extracted to a separate PDF file. And it's not going to affect the original PDF file. So just make a run. Okay, now go and check in the particular folder.
Extracted all the images in PDF.
So it has some more files. Okay. So the other one, you can see the PDF file. PDF page range. The last. So you have the range of PDF folder. Okay, page number 1 to 10, it's been extracted. Okay. So practice on this. The rest of the activities we can see tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts?
No.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.